Let's just be thankful it's almost 2 years, and this is the first time
This
it's
is
actually
the
happened.
first time that's happened. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 10 of the Gilded City 2, The Lost Kingdom. This is our second attempt at recording the episode because somehow, for the first time in 2 years, I forgot to hit record. We didn't get very far,
the
though.
Intro.
Yeah,
we didn't
we
record the whole thing.
We only recorded the intro
campaign.
before I realized the mistake. So anyway, hey, leave us a like, leave us some comments, subscribe, ring the bell, follow us on social media at RollersGuildDND on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. All of that good stuff. And also, hey, Wizards of the Coast, don't fuck with the open game license. Okay, I think that's all the things.
Oh, that's what you said.
Yes. All right. Now let's go ahead and dive on in for real this time to tonight's episode. Content warning. Ravenloft as a setting can feature disturbing themes and ideas, and while it is never going to be our intention to upset anyone, it is worth noting. Be advised that this story arc features ghosts, dysfunctional families, cruel clergy, murder, and references to suicide. Last time, the party continued their exploration of the Ainsley Village Manor and eventually discovered the spirit whose misery permeated the house, Bryant Ainsley. Bryant told them of his miserable fate, how he had fallen in love with a common girl named Brooke, how they had planned on getting married, how a holy man in Wardenshire, Brother Francis, had betrayed their plans to Bryant's parents, how Bryant's parents had Brooke killed, how Bryant had then killed himself to try and be with her to death, and how Bryant's parents had Brother Francis perform a ritual to trap Bryant's spirit in the house and keep Brooke's spirit outside of it. After learning the tragic tale from the ghost, the party resolved to do what they could to help. They attempted unsuccessfully to dispel one of the golden runes within the house. After Jinarra averted disaster with the guardians of the rune that appeared, the party broke out of the house and left with Dr. Van Richten, promising Bryant they would resolve the situation as quickly as possible. And you all went back to Van Richten's herbalist shop, crashed there for the night, and took a long rest.
Oh, we completed it?
You completed the long rest successfully. Now, here's what I will say. You did have a point of exhaustion, Artemis. Point of exhaustion goes away, as normal. You did have 2 points of another thing.
Oh.
If you will recall.
Totally do and totally didn't. Aha.
So, I believe you only decrease that secondary amount of points by 1. So that 2 goes to 1. And Nyx, I believe you were the only other person who had any points in this other category. Since you only had 1, it is reduced to 0, and you are totally back to normal. But yes, you all wake up in Van Richten's home above his herbalist shop the next morning. You successfully took a long rest. There was a spare bedroom and the sort of living room, sitting room area that you guys just sort of found places where you could crash and went to sleep. So the day is yours. What is the plan?
Is it still like depressingly gray out, even though it's morning?
Yeah, you go look out the window, see what's going on, look up, sky's gray. You can just, as you approach the window, you can feel that it's cold. It's another cold day outside. There's a light drizzle on the town.
Maybe
of
tomorrow.
Yorkshire.
Should we check on Van Richten?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we should do that. Is he upstairs? Is it downstairs?
somewhere.
Where did we put that person? I don't know.
He had been taken to his bedroom.
Okay.
So you can
Logical.
So you can go down the hall and go into the master bedroom. And yeah, you see Dr. Van Richten is still asleep. He has tossed and turned a lot in the night, clearly. The blankets are all tangled and disturbed, and he's mumbling incoherently in his sleep as if he's having a bad dream or a nightmare.
Well, he doesn't look great.
Oh, and I don't want to wake him up.
Make Elina do it. Don't you want to do that, Elina?
We probably just should let him rest. We don't know how long he's been in the house. We can come back and talk.
Right. We're looking. What are we doing? That was not a good time for me. Can someone remind me what we were doing? Really? We're looking for someone.
We were looking for him.
Well, yeah. Now, I mean,
Oh.
because we've got Ghosty
Yeah, that's a
Boy.
great question. Well, we need to go find the brother, what's his name? The religious dude.
Francis.
Yeah, him. Yeah, we need to figure out how to get the seals off.
Have we seen how big is this town that we're in? We walked through it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean it's an okay size
Little village.
It's not huge. It probably has a couple thousand residents at best. Probably closer to like 1,500. So like it's a decent sized community. Very small compared to like Waterdeep or any of the other major cities of back home. But this is like it's the biggest town in Mordant.
All right. Well, we can ask around and track this guy down.
Yeah.
What about the person that works at the herbalist shop? Can we talk to her?
Probably.
What the hell is her name?
Beatrice?
Sounds right.
Yeah, Beatrice.
Maybe she can point us in the right direction.
At around this time, you do hear the bell downstairs ring as the door is opened. And you just hear calling up the stairs. It's just me, Beatrice. Is the doctor doing okay this morning?
I will carefully go down the stairs and just kind of like try and peek around and see if it is indeed
It
just.
is indeed Beatrice, as she's
Right.
she's arrived. She's taking off like coat and hanging it on a coat rack behind the counter, getting ready for the day, running the shop.
Hello.
Could you remind me of your name?
Brightshield. Artemis Brightshield.
It's a pleasure, sir. So sorry. We didn't really get too much of a chance to talk yesterday. You all just went off with dear Elina to check on the doctor.
Yeah, we do that. I'm not very patient. He's here. Still not looking the greatest.
Yeah, he didn't look great when you all brought him back in last night. I was looking around to see if there was a tonic or a potion or something here in the shop that could help with matters of madness, that sort of thing. But fortunately, it doesn't seem like there's anything here.
Where would one go, in your opinion, to solve that kind of thing?
I wouldn't rightly know. I mean, there's
Is that like a holy
there's the insane asylum here in town, but I don't want to send Dr. Van Richten there. He was always a little suspicious of the place. Didn't trust the people that ran it.
That's useful to know. Is there like a holy place? Someone by the name of Francis, for instance. It's a name we keep coming across.
Brother Francis.
Perhaps, yes.
I mean, he used to be over at the Church of Ezra. He hasn't really been around the last few years. Don't know where he ended up.
Fantastic. Could you point us in the direction of this Church of Ezra?
She gives you directions to the
Fantastic.
church.
Well, as long as it's just you and me, how are you? It is just her. Don't worry, you can all come down.
Oh, good. And we
Fine,
tumbled down the
fine.
stairs, hiding
Yeah.
all stacked up on top of each other.
Brother Francis from the Church of Ezra, a few years ago, he was preaching there with the other priests, and then he just stopped turning up. No one really knows what happened. Me and the other ladies in the Mystery Society, we've always sort of wondered about what happened, but
There's a mystery society?
yeah, there's
You say
Mystery
mistress.
Society. Mystery Society.
That's exciting. All right.
Oh, he's probably dead.
I don't know. He stopped
Are the
coming
other-
in.
He
The
stopped
other-
coming in and no one went to check to see if he was dead.
I mean,
I
people
don't know. Nobody
die.
at the church was talking to me about it.
If
Are
they
they still
died,
there?
they'd come back as ghosts anyway.
That's true.
That's true.
So you said a few years ago, we heard his name, up at the house.
What is
Ainsley
going
house.
on up at the house? You all are the first people to go up there since it was abandoned and
Oh, it's incredibly
Come
fucked
back.
up.
come back. Yeah.
We had to
Haunted.
break through a wall to get out.
Oh dear.
Don't do it. Don't go.
Yeah, don't go. But
Well, there's a hole
I
now.
wasn't planning on it.
when did they all abandon that house?
About 5 years ago now.
Okay, so it's very possible that he is with the Ainsley family.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he had any business with the Ainsley family.
Well, he
It was around the same time though, the last time he was seen. So
he for sure did.
You said that there were other friars, brothers.
yeah, there are
uncles.
other priests and
Are they still there
monks at
too?
the Church of Ezra. Church of Ezra? Yeah, they're still there. They
Right? Let's
still
go.
tend the flock, as it were.
We'll talk to them. They'll point us in the direction. We'll convince him to undo his bullshit.
Maybe they can undo it.
And then, what is our ultimate?
We want to
Oh, we are looking to actually talk to the doctor, who's a little
Yes.
woo right now.
Mhm.
Right.
We need to kill
That's
some
why.
time.
Thank
So
you.
we need to kill time, and to kill time, we're going to solve a mystery.
Mhm.
Well, we do kind of owe Bryant, a forever peace. So
We don't owe it to them, but we're good people. So,
Bryant,
well,
the Ainsley's son, is the ghost in the manor?
mm-hmm. I mean, feel free to, you know what? You seem like a fairly trustworthy person. If we want to put your mystery society on this too, that would probably help. Do you guys have emergency meetings?
Well, I can reach out to the other ladies for sure. Interesting. So the Ainsleys, they've been saying for
5 years.
well, yeah, that they'd sent Bryant away to some sort of academy.
Oh, they sent him away.
Well, he sent himself away.
yeah,
He killed himself.
Yep.
Mhm.
Why did he do that?
a broken heart.
Well, you see, sometimes when people are really sad.
No, I know. I just
Oh shoot! What was the girl's name?
not everyone who commits suicide then becomes a violent spirit.
That's true.
He doesn't seem really that violent, or at least not.
No.
The house was pretty violent, and it's very connected to him.
The
But-
house was violent. I don't think he was.
Those
You would
angels,
know.
they were
You would know from reading Van Richten's ghost book, because you guys looked at that before going to the manor. You would know that sometimes a particularly turbulent spirit can cause supernatural effects in the place that they haunt that they may or may not have control over. So it would be a violent haunting, even if Bryant wasn't doing it intentionally.
Does anybody remember the name of the girl?
I said it in the last time.
Susie.
Yeah,
No, wait, I remember Rhonda? No.
Amelia.
Hold on, I remember thinking that was her name, but I didn't say anything. Because I wasn't there, so don't look at me.
Now her name's Rhonda.
I'm gonna just wait and see if y'all took notes.
No.
A history check on it.
Gloria? Jackie? It
Does
was
it start?
something stupid.
I
remember
literally
being
said
like,
it 10
Pearl.
minutes ago.
Pearl.
Pearl? No. Jackie? I really think it was something like Rhonda. Was it? Give us a letter it starts with and I'll know it.
I've only been taking relevant notes.
B?
Like
B,
Nyx wants to
as
get with
in my
Elina.
first name, begins with.
Not Beatrice.
Betty.
Bertha?
Barbara.
No.
Brittany.
Barbie?
Oh my god, this is gonna kill me. It was Brooke.
Oh, that was a stupid name. Yes.
Sorry to all the Brooks
Yeah,
out
sorry
there.
to all the Brooks
No,
out there.
No,
Zuzu
I
thinks
think
your
Brooke
name
is a really fine
stupid.
modern name, but it's just of all the names you could have in old timey times, Brooke is not the name.
It's not a new name. I don't know
I
what
know,
is
and I don't
people's
care.
obsession with thinking that just because we use the name
Jason.
now, it's only now that it was ever used.
Yeah, and that's true.
Well, let's not forget that we have names like
Jason.
Apollo and
Jason.
Hyacinth and Artemis and Jason all in the same family.
Yes. Yeah. All Greek names.
Is Brooke a biblical name?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Do you?
It's a traditional English name, though.
Okay.
Do we have a last name for Brooke?
I don't believe you inquired about her last name.
Well, she was like I saw a vision of her in a greenhouse doing some plant
Are you
stuff.
saying all this to
No,
Beatrice?
I'm trying to remember if there was any like indication of what her job was in their house so that I could give more information to Beatrice about her.
Does Beatrice also really need to know?
Yeah.
I don't think it really harms us and our goals if
Yeah.
Beatrice knows.
Oh, or she could be evil. We just met her.
Yeah, this hold on. Beatrice, could you just give us
You all
She's
can go
got,
back
like, a
upstairs to
society
talk
of-
if you want to talk without me.
Are we going to the church?
we should go to the church.
Eventually. We can talk about this on the way to the church.
Yes, I'd love to talk about this on the way to the church.
Okay,
Yeah.
you guys.
Before we do go though, my last Beatrice, my last name, Brightshield. That doesn't ring any bells for you.
Not particularly.
Right, good to know. Thank you.
Ooh, let's see if she remembers your name when we come back.
I don't think that was the issue.
Now
Yeah, I don't
that
know how that works next.
is interesting.
I think it was more the place, not the
Yeah,
people.
because we remember you.
Yeah, but other people
Oh, but we remember
couldn't
Oiko.
remember the Brightshields existed.
Right.
So
I can
And how
find-
about that church though?
You also know lots of people who remember Artemis.
Right.
Oh,
that's true.
At least
but-
they think they do. Anyway, the
They
church.
pretend.
The
To
church.
the church.
You guys start making your way across town to the church. You can continue having the conversation you were having
What
as
did
you walk.
Brooke do in the house? Does anybody remember? Did anybody
Gardener?
get that information?
Did she work in the greenhouse?
That's what I saw a vision of her in a greenhouse, and like that's how they met. Did anybody else have weird visions in there, or was that just me?
I did, but
Okay.
it wasn't of Brooke or Brighton. It was more the parents.
Was it still related to like that story?
Of them murdering Brooke? Yes.
So everyone was just having visions in this house and didn't say anything.
Well, I mean, I kind of figured it had something to do with the house, and I didn't I wasn't like super important. It's just like a nice
Important.
little story.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Penny, that
No, yeah, it's okay. It just seems like in the past, couple weeks, we've just become really distrustful of each other. You know what I mean? You think you know someone for like a year and then they decide to just like leave and it's like, okay. And now we don't tell each other things that are happening and it just, I don't know, whatever.
Oh,
see, I assumed other people were seeing what I was seeing, but I did just realize that maybe you all did not see what I was seeing because
Yeah.
I apologize. I'm not going to desert you and go back home and leave
Nah, you don't have
in
to
this weird
apologize
place.
to me. You can leave just like everyone else. That's so fine. I'm fine.
Okay, Penny.
Just like,
Okay.
beg me to join the team, then we all start leaving, then we all start lying. Just like, when does it stop? You know what I mean? Anyways, where's
I said you didn't have to come with us.
where's the church?
We've been standing in front of it for 6 minutes.
And with that, you have arrived at the Church of Ezra.
Oh,
This is probably the largest building in town. It's a decent sized church. Very traditional, simple building, but large with a bell tower coming out of sort of the center of the building. The walls of the church are slightly weathered. It is sort of a wooden church. It's not like a grand stone church. It's like I said, it's quite large. The white paint of the church is peeling away. And the windows look quite cloudy, as if they have been, out in the elements for a long time, which they probably have. But the doors of the church are they're closed, but it doesn't look. But as you are standing there, you see just another villager sort of open the door and go inside. So it seems like the church is open.
Should we go in?
Yeah.
Does anybody have anything cursed on them that might, prevent entry into a church?
I-
don't know how churches work here.
Artie, is your sword cursed?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I think you're thinking of vampires.
Maybe. I have not been to church ever, so I don't I'm half expecting to burst into flame.
hmm.
Oh my
I think
gosh.
you'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna very gingerly, very slowly step over the threshold, ready to leap back at any moment.
Nothing weird happens as you enter the building. You are
All right, I'm just gonna hang by the door for a second then.
Yeah, as you all
People seem to
enter,
know things about churches.
there's a simple entryway that opens up into a larger, a main room, a sanctuary. There are rows of benches, pews leading up to an altar. And there are just a small scattering of private individuals of the town, taking a moment to pray to the goddess Ezra, this is a relatively unadorned building interior, but the one big adornment is behind the altar is a large tapestry hanging from the wall, which features a woman surrounded on all sides by thick curling mists. And the mists seem to envelop her and they sort of cover part of her face, so you can't quite make out what she looks like.
Like a masquerade.
Kind of.
Is there like a rope that dangles from the ceiling?
In the entryway off to the side, behind a little screen, you can peek around and see there's a rope that goes up into the ceiling.
Wonder what that does.
Bowmin is going to stop Artemis immediately before he does that. I will do an athletics check if you want.
Mr. Bo, is this bad?
Yes, it's very disrespectful.
What is it?
It's the bell.
Oh,
Yeah, come on, Nyx, it's the bell.
how would that be disrespectful?
It's
As
That seems
you
like a
all are
bad
having
idea.
this conversation, you see someone come over in, just very simple, dark robes and say, excuse me, during private prayer time, we just ask that you keep your voices down so that the people may have peace as they pray to the great goddess Ezra.
We're really bad.
Sorry. Didn't mean any harm. Looking for...
Can I help you with something? My name is Father Alduus Oswell.
Ozzy.
Father, would you mind meeting us outside so we can talk at room level?
It is a little rainy outside. Why don't you come this way and we can speak in one of the gathering halls.
Okay.
Sure.
And he leads you off back into like a side room and shuts the door. It says,
Just want to get a quick, checking faces of the people praying. Just a general seeing who's in there.
okay,
Uh-huh.
make a perception check.
I'm helping.
Oh. Well, first one. Okay. Perception. 13. 23.
23. Yeah, you look around. It's it's a mix of people, mostly humans. You do see there's like one halfling in here, as well, but mostly humans with sort of worn leathery skin from. Yeah, I mean these look like the poor folks. Nobody that's
Got it.
in
Working
here looks
class.
like they are particularly wealthy.
Okay.
But you all go off into a side room with Father Algius, who says, now, what can I or Ezra help you with, children?
Ezra? Oh, right. Jeez. I have to get that.
You just walked into a church and said, Jesus, who?
I gave them Gab. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
We were just at the Ainsley's house.
Oh,
What?
And their country estate?
Yes.
The
haunted
town.
Town.
That one.
Yeah.
Well, it's a miracle that you all made it out alive. I've heard that there were ruffians that have gone in and never come out since it was abandoned. Have you? Why would? Never mind. Continue.
We were looking for somebody. We found said somebody, but it appears that there are some wards placed on the house that are divine. Specifically, we theorized from, I think it was Father Francis.
Brother Francis.
Brother Francis.
Okay.
is he around? Can we talk to him?
No, he's not around.
When will he be back?
The goddess called him away on a matter of great spiritual importance, and he has left to study her grace under alone.
Can you tell the goddess we need him back for a little bit and we'll send him right back?
It doesn't work like that. We can't, just talk directly to Ezra whenever we would like. That's not how.
He tried
it
sleeping.
works.
You said he got called away by Ezra. Is that a nice way of saying that he died?
No.
Okay,
As far as
okay.
I know, just
Okay,
Ezra,
just checking.
he felt called by Ezra to study.
How long
her
ago was this?
divinity. It's been a few years.
5?
About 5, yeah.
Ben, is there anything about this guy's face or mannerisms that shows anything hiding?
Make an
Can I
insight
insight?
check.
30-20. Yes? Yes.
Okay.
Pose deception check.
You don't know what that check was. Yeah, I could have been rolling for anything.
It was a medicine
Dragon
check.
moves down.
You look at his face, and just read his mannerisms, and Artemis, you know what holding something back is like because you've done it a lot during your life in terms of like withholding information, withholding truth, even outright lying. You do get the sense that this man is not being entirely forthright with you.
Great. Just gonna kind of look a little lost, kind of moved. Is there only one way in and out of this room?
No, I mean there's another door that seems to lead.
I'm just gonna start poking around then, see what's in the other room.
Excuse me, just back there is storage and the the offices and
Oh, sorry.
it's perfectly all right. But I'm sorry if you are asking after Brother Francis. I'm afraid I can't help you. If he did place some kind of divine ward on the village manor, I assume he had good reason to do so.
Well, you see, the issue that we're coming from this is that it's kind of the reason why people have been disappearing at that house. Maybe not directly, but indirectly, it has caused much suffering overall. I'm not too familiar with this god, Ezra, but I don't know if they're a god of suffering, if there's that their thing.
Ben, when Bowmin says the name Ezra, can I attempt to stealthily prestidigitate? Is that it? A little bit?
Yeah.
I want just like a cold breeze to blow over like all of us.
Yeah, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check for me.
Sleight of hand? Damn. Okay.
Roll
Not
for spooky.
Sorry,
That's stealth?
that's not stealth. This is very much sleight of
okay.
hand. This is
20.
20. Very good, very good. I will say you can pull that off without getting detected. You
Great.
do that, and there's a
Kind of.
slight cool breeze that sort of drifts through the room. And Father Algier
Blows our cloaks a little bit.
Yeah, Father Algier shivers a little bit as you're saying all of this. He seems to pause for a moment. The goddess Ezra, she is not cruel, but she's also not forgiving. She does challenge us. That's what the mists are for. They are a great challenge. And Bowmin, make a persuasion check for me.
I was just waiting for that. Advantage, disadvantage, flat.
I will say with the prestidigitation that Artemis did, you can go ahead and roll with advantage.
Thanks, Matt. All right. Persuasion. That's a dirty 20.
But Ezra also does not welcome evil deeds either. I'm afraid I was being truthful when I said that I don't know where Brother Francis is. To be honest, he just ran off about 5 years ago. We've been telling people that he is on a vision quest for the goddess because we don't. It's a hard life here in Wardens. And for our parishioners here, we are one of the few places where they feel any kind of hope or hopefulness.
Hope is a very powerful weapon.
I wouldn't put
Weapon.
it that way, but the point is, we felt it was best that the general populace didn't know that Brother Francis had just disappeared. I mean, it could be anything. All I know is that before he disappeared, he had spent several days meeting with the Ainsleys.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have the experience or knowledge of how to dismantle protective wards that he may have placed? Is that something you would? It seems he may have caused a problem we're trying to resolve.
With the Ainsley's house.
I would have to look at them myself, but I'm afraid that part of the problem is also that Brother Francis was easily the most gifted practitioner of divine magics in our ranks. I mean, not this sometimes surprises people, but not every priest actually wields divine magic. I am capable of some, but it is not. It was never my divine magic that landed me my place in charge of this church. It was my faith and my intellectual study of the religion. Brother Francis was gifted, I assume still is, gifted in the divine arts in a way that I've seen very, very few other people. It's possible I could. I do know some divine magic, but
But probably not.
Elf friend here looks like she also is capable of wielding divine magic, and I don't know if I would be any better suited to it than she.
So
Are you willing to try?
If we, quick sidebar though, if we get it wrong, those people that might be angry with us for messing with it might come back. And we're pretty cool, but they seemed also cool.
It seemed like we got them to calm down that one time, but they may not calm down easily.
Yeah,
3 times.
yeah.
But I think it's more of the way we did it. We were not a member or somebody in Ezra's corner, really.
I understand. I wouldn't want to. I could look at it potentially, but if it was something that Brother Francis made, Brother Francis would best know how to unmake it. And I don't know where Brother Francis is.
Yes, if you were Brother Francis, where would you abscond to? Did he have a room here that we could maybe look at? Or any inklings that you might know?
Or stuff that he left.
He did have. We have a small dormitory for the monks and priests here. I could. You could check his former rooms, see if there's any clues there to his whereabouts.
What I heard.
That'd be nice.
Or maybe we don't know where the Ainsley's real house is, do we?
/ nobody's heard. Has anybody heard from them in the last 5 years?
I know where their house is, and yes, people I have heard from them in the last 5 years. They just haven't spent so much time in town ever since they abandoned their village manor, but they are still running their country estate, as far as I know.
Do you know if anyone's in their house right now? Their current house?
I would assume so.
Well, perhaps we go pay them a visit then.
Mhm.
As folks that are new in town.
Certainly.
But we should check
Yeah. Also, we should
Brother
check.
Francis's
Yeah.
room.
Yes, follow me. He leads you sort of out of the building into, a simple building next door, nothing fancy, but it seems like it's, just the monks and priests dormitory. Takes you in sort of, takes you through the halls and eventually arrives at a, opens the door to a very simple, sparse room. There's a dresser, a desk, and a bed in here. And a small closet. This was Brother Francis's room. No one is staying here currently. Everything is, I believe, as Brother Francis left it before he absconded.
Thank you.
Mr. Bowmin, could you lift up the mattress with me? Let's just take a look underneath.
Okay.
Yeah, you lift up the mattress easy enough. Is this accompanying?
I pretend to
Yeah.
lift.
Yeah. Is this accompanying a more thorough investigation of the room as well?
I mean, I am opening and
I
trying to
presumed
try up
Nyx was
everything.
going to be taking care
Yeah.
of things.
Okay. So I would like just one person can make an investigation check for the group with advantage, because you got Bowmin lifting up the bed and Artemis pretending to help, and anyway, just generally looking around at stuff.
Does anybody have higher than a 10?
No.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Because I feel like
10?
there was
No.
somebody else that was good at investigation.
I think Octavia.
Yeah.
Maybe rip.
F in the chat's voice.
Yeah.
F in the chat. 24 is quite good. You look around and actually do find, first of all, tucked under the mattress, you do find a very small, like, black book. You're able to
Little
grab
black
that.
book.
And generally, you continue looking around, and you find that there is a, as you're sort of examining the desk, you find there's a sort of a hidden compartment that seems to have been installed in the desktop. And you're able to find like a little thing that pops open this thing in the desktop underneath, where you pull a pin and it pops up this thing. As you pop that up, Father Algius, who's been standing in the door, says, "That's not supposed to be in the desk."
Well, it is.
Well, maybe yours has one too.
I don't think so, but anyway, inside the compartment, you find 400 gold pieces in a pouch.
Does anybody else see how much money is in the pouch?
You open it up, you see a large amount of gold in there, you close it back up.
No.
If you
I'm
want
gonna look in it. I'm gonna like scoop a little bit into my sleeve and be like, "This should go to the church. Here you go." And just
what was Brother
Wow.
Francis doing with
put
this much money?
200 gold in my pocket.
Okay. What was Brother Francis doing with this much money? We're not supposed to accumulate.
He may have gotten it relating to what he was doing with the Ainsley's house.
Yeah, that could be evidence. We should apprehend that and keep it in our possession.
Yeah, blood
But
money.
not police
Here, take
officials.
it. I don't.
Thank you.
Nyx is like trying to be like, You did that.
As you look at the little black book, you open it up, you find it seems to be the first few pages as you're looking through seem to be a book of like little prayers, simple prayers to Ezra. But as you're sort of flipping through Nyx with a 24, I will say that you are able to determine that there is a cipher written into some of the margins, and determined that this was a ledger that Brother Francis was using to track incoming money and who had given him the money.
Oh, this bitch crafty.
Is it similar to Thieves' Cant, and can I crack the cipher?
It is, I will say, yes, it is similar to Thieves' Cant, and yes, that's part of why you were able to crack the cipher, figure out what it was. So yes, you can tell. I mean, most of these are names you don't recognize, right? What I will say is he has taken in much more gold than the amount of gold you just found.
Gotcha.
Oh, so he took an early retirement. That's where he is.
So there's a significant amount of unaccounted for gold. The Ainsleys had given him, you find, though this is the Ainsleys, what they gave him is also in this book. The Ainsleys had given him 2,000 gold pieces.
Why did he only leave 400 in his desk? Like, why leave 400?
Well, when you have a lot of money, you tend to forget where you keep it all.
Also, in case someone found out about the money and took it all from him, he still has his backup money in his secret little
Yeah, but he
drawer.
left it.
Oh,
Maybe he left in a hurry.
Maybe.
He's running through the hills, just going ching, 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 ching. Just
maybe you can only bring so much money across the border,
That seems
or you have to check it. Oh, no.
seems interesting. Interesting theory. I'm gonna write out the other names of people. I'm gonna decipher the cipher for Father Alduoth.
Yeah.
And be like, this is what the book says. Cross my heart, pinky promise. Do these names sound familiar? Are there dates there /
no dates.
indications of what it was for?
Nope.
Just who gave him what? Okay.
Yeah.
We would like to conduct an investigation into Brother Francis. I think that you should I think you should open an investigation, and you should hire us to conduct said investigation and find him.
This is staggering.
He's a bad guy.
To think that someone so devout could be
So shitty? Yeah.
Wasn't
Sorry, so crappy.
Wasn't Miravaldi also really devout?
Miravaldi was a cultist.
Yeah, so he was devout to
Devout
something.
to something.
Are you not devout to anything, Penny?
Me?
Yeah.
I can't tell you. It's a secret. I'm kind of hedging my bets right now, so.
Fantastic. Would you like to share it with me later?
No, I can't tell anyone. I'll tell you after that.
Anyways,
Can I see one of the gold pieces real quick?
I'm gonna take a gold piece out of the bag and give it to him.
In just looking at it, is there anything that would, for those of us that may have turned our paper money into bars of gold and silver that we're just clanking around with us, is there anything different about this money?
Oh, yeah. I mean, these gold coins are stamped. As you sort of look through, most of them seem to be of a similar design. They just have some sort of mordant crest on them. But as you sort of go through, you can see some coins that look that have different designs, different patterns on them. So most of it is mordant money. Some of it seems to have come from elsewhere. but it doesn't seem like any of the coins from other places are treated any differently. I mean, gold is sort of the
Sure.
what you take away from looking at this, at least in Mordant.
Just gonna try and make note of the symbols and names that I might see on the monies. Give it all.
Most of them again are Mordantshire, Tinder. Usually see some from other locations. The second largest group of coins are from you can see it says currency of Darkon, and then in what languages do you speak?
Common, Draconic, Elvish, Celestial.
Okay, so you can't make out all of what this other piece of text says. Seems to be the motto of this place, of Darkon. But you do see there's a name in there. Azalin Rex is the name on there. And you do see the face of what you assume to be the king of Darkon. So you would assume that Azalin Rex is the name of the king of Darkon. So it's stamped with the king's face. But that's the second largest amount of coin.
Right. King Aslan.
Yeah. Azalin. Not Aslan.
We'll see.
He's a tiger, not a lion.
Yeah. There's a difference. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
So the facts still stand that we still have a house that has a ghost trapped in it, which, I mean, our main objective is not necessarily to find this father.
Unless he's the only one that can.
No, we need to find him because we need to break the wards, and he's the only one that knows how to break the wards.
That's not
Unless we
necessarily
can talk
true.
to the goddess Ezra. Can goddess Ezra do this? Can anyone talk to gods? We have any of that in our party? Elina?
Yeah, that's a great point. That is her god. So
Is it?
No, she said something about.
oh yeah, she said she believed some people believed that it were the same,
Yeah,
but they're not. But
they're different.
Alina, can you talk to gods?
she refused to come into the church. She's been outside.
Maybe she's still at the doctor.
Hold on.
We also need someone to
I
take
have
a
to
look
at her
at
character sheet.
the doctor, right?
Why, like
Oh,
exercising?
to make him uncrazy. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Oh,
he
yeah.
needs like restoration magic, which I don't think I
I think.
think I chose not to take. Hold on, yeah, we have.
Well, I don't
Someone-
think Brother Francis will help us with that. Kind of seems a little shady.
No, but
Mr.
Father.
Bowmin,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is good.
Mr. Bowmin, are you able to like undo curses and bad things to
I
people?
can remove curse.
Elina might also be able to do this.
I also can heal the body, but the mind is something that I can't really work on.
Yeah, you need a therapist for that.
Yeah.
Or
Well, if
magic.
there's like, so maybe before let's find out where the Ainsley house is, because something tells me we are going to actually need the father, or to rough him up, or I mean to bring him back, convince him to come back, and maybe on our way to them, we just swing by and just see if we could do something to old Mr. Doctor.
Elina, by the way, informs you that talking to her goddess is never so direct.
That's not what Alina sounds like. That's not her voice.
Well, I'm sorry,
You
I'm not
tried
gonna
sleeping.
try to do her voice. I'm just telling you what she says. And she does say she has, restoration magic that she could try on him. She doesn't know
let's
if
use
it'll
hers
work
because-
necessarily,
Yeah, let's
but she
use.
could
Let's use her
always
spell slot.
try.
Should we go to the doctor now?
Probably on our way, once we're done here, regardless. We should stop by.
Or before the Ainsley house?
Mhm.
Probably.
Yeah, we may as well.
Where is the Ainsley house? Father A.
He gives you directions.
Great.
Oh, just down the road.
Awesome.
It's
No,
door.
it's a good like half day's travel out into
Ugh.
the Morden countryside.
Then we should definitely stop and see the doctor first.
Why don't we have
Although it is
bag?
possible the doctor will just need to sleep it off. It looks, I mean, Artie, you're feeling better after
After that,
one
absolutely.
night.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
trying-
he was in the house longer, so
Yeah.
it might take more days, but it is possible, you know. Yeah.
He
Doesn't
also
hurt to
might be
try.
awake and just really tired and out of
Yeah.
it right now, but like if we can ask him questions.
Yeah.
That's true. We left him sleeping.
Yeah.
So
Mhm. I mean, he's
probably
had
like having
time.
breakfast in his slippers, writing something. Things doctors do.
I feel like we should have probably like tied him up.
Tie him up.
I don't think
Yeah, like
so.
what if he like goes mad and like runs away and then we never find him again and then we have no chance of getting across like Ravenloft.
Well,
I mean, he did just like
unfortunately,
chill with you while we were running around. And if he was able to do that, I feel like he probably doesn't need to be tied.
and unfortunately, we have already left him without doing that. So at this point,
It
doesn't
Too
really matter.
late.
But anyone else need anything at the church?
On the way out, I want to do. Bowen wants to do something. So, if anything, anyone else wants to do it now.
No, I think I trust this guy now.
Okay.
I was gonna mess with him real hard. I was gonna like make him question his faith, but I'm gonna let him go.
As you guys are starting to leave, he's still just wringing his hands. He's like, do you think I should speak to the mayor about opening an official investigation, or
You let us do our stuff. We can't find any. I mean, we can also. Do you guys have a justice system?
the mayor Alice Weathermay oversees the town guard, and
Like, is there a court system?
I mean, criminals go before the mayor and speak to her, and
Okay.
So no court system. Got it.
What was her name?
Alice Weathermay.
Maybe just talking to your fellow brethren first.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's pretty heavy. So
See if you
process.
can get any of them to remember conversations. I know it was 5 years ago, but
I will. If we think of anything, where can I reach you?
We'll find you.
I mean, you can, if you are like, hey, we have something, you can leave us a message at Dr. Van Richten's apothecary.
Okay. Yes, I'll do that. Thank you. May Ezra bless you all. Bowmin, you said you had something you wanted to do as you were all over the.
Yeah, Bowen wants to just do a quick investigation check.
Also
See if
with you.
anybody in this church that is praying right now is praying for health for themselves, or any sick kids out there.
This is actually going to be a perception check to overhear it.
That's good. I have nothing in my investigation. All right, that is a 21.
21. You hear like somebody, probably a fisherman, praying for a good catch. You hear someone else praying for praying that they will be able to keep the house warm in the cold months ahead. The price of coal has gone up and it's just hard right now. You hear and there's not that many people in here, so you hear that, and you hear somebody else praying, hoping that their brother and sister-in-law can finally find peace and respite on this, the 5-year anniversary of their daughter's death.
I want to approach that person.
Can I help? Can I help you?
I couldn't help over here about your loss.
Yes, my poor niece, she died 5 years ago today.
That's so sad.
Tragic.
What was her What was her name?
Brooke.
Wow. Oops, I can't hear your whispering.
This is not Nyx. This is I don't know.
This is
My
you.
conscious,
This is
my
me.
conscious speaking.
Yeah.
How did she die?
She was running an errand outside of town, got just run down in the road. No one really knows. Most people think it was an accident, but I don't know. It was.
You say you're praying for her rest. Is she
I'm-
still around?
We haven't heard from her ghost. No one in the family has heard from her ghost necessarily. And my brother and my sister-in-law have just, the last 5 years have been really hard, and especially today on the anniversary.
Well, I hope that they can find some peace after all these years.
And Bowman's just gonna slide like 2 gold pieces into their hands.
I don't have much, but if this helps in any way.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. This is, it's a lot. Thank you.
And just gonna walk away.
Okay.
Leaving those people to hope that price of coal drops.
You leave the church. You left the church.
Yes.
So before we do anything, let's just get our priorities straight.
Yeah, that's good.
What are we doing? Because we got a lot of side quests right now. We have
Our main goal is to get the doctor to a place where he can talk to us about finding my brother.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
yes.
That's the
It's our driving goal.
Yeah.
that's the
Main.
overarching bullshit.
So we know that Father Francis booked it, got a bunch of cash and booked it. We know that there's a possibility that this priest that we just talked to may be able to help with the runes that you were seeing. It's a very low possibility.
Yeah.
We could talk to the Ainsleys, which is about a half day's journey, which would just take a long time. And we don't have any mounts or any horses or anything that we could ride.
Is there anything in the town where we could get something?
Probably.
So what are we doing?
Oh, so what would be the point of going to the Ainsleys other than
We know you killed your son's
Yes.
girlfriend.
yes,
Well,
which
don't we
is
think-
obviously
Don't we
not
think Francis-
good.
Do
I
we
think
think?
Francis is with the Ainsleys.
Yeah.
Oh, you think
Or
so?
the Ansleys know where he went.
Right.
Okay, that could.
I
be.
think
That
he's
could
got
be.
a lot of money now, and he just lives with them as a personal. Make everything good.
A personal priest?
That could be.
Or-
Okay.
Personal
All
pocket
right.
priest.
I mean, it's a lead, I suppose.
But if we feel confident that we can beat up those angels on our own,
No.
I
I-
feel like if
We
we
have-
do want to attempt that, we need to wait until the whole party is able to make decisions for themselves.
There are 3 runes. We disturbed one of them and 3 angels appeared. So math, logically speaking, we're not just fighting 3 angels, we're possibly fighting 9 angels.
Or it's just 3 that are going to get angry once.
We don't know what we're up against. I feel like if
Yeah.
anything, we could go talk to Brother Francis and be like, what do you know about protective spells and how to undo them?
We could probably hire him, honestly. He seems
Right.
the kind of person that's
Motivated by money.
Yeah.
I
And
do
we kidnap him and bring him to the house.
do that too.
Make him into wards, and a ghost will kill him.
I do think
A
we
haunting.
need some sort of pretense to go to the Ainsleys.
Well, they are lords and ladies. I am also a lord, not a
Of
lady, a
a-
lord.
No, of a place we don't know exists in people's minds.
Technically, I'm now lord of Brightshield Manor.
In the other realm.
In another world, but the title presumably stays with me, even if I go somewhere else.
I mean, probably. It's just whether or not they're gonna believe you.
Give a shit, but I
We
don't know,
also might
trust it-
not really be able to beat around the bush if we go visit the Ainsley.
Yeah, we could just go in like guns a-blazing.
Yeah.
That always worked out well for us. Sometimes.
Sometimes it does.
No, like I'm being serious. If we go in guns a blazing, a lot of times we are
Because
okay.
I think sometimes we try to come up with a plan and then we try to lie and be stealthy for about
It
like
doesn't
10
work.
minutes and then it goes on for a very long
We fight
time
our
and then one of us
yep.
breaks and then someone shoots
Yeah.
and then oh it's just gone to shit and then
I think
I-
we're trigger happy.
I
Yeah.
would also just like to point out one thing. Oh, this is just our overall stay here in Ravenloft, is that we don't know how to get back exactly and what time will be when we are back.
In our world, our
Yes.
Well,
So-
I think we did suss out that it would be the same amount of time that transpired.
yeah, I think it
Because I had that doubt for a long time, and I believe I asked that question, although
I
I
think
do
it
not remember off the top of my head.
depends on the people that we traveled
At
with.
the
Shani.
start.
Yeah, I think it depends on them, really. Because they're the ones that seem to be bouncing in and out of time at different
yeah, I
points.
mean we leave when they leave.
No,
We
you
don't know
Oh, we can't
Not
get out with them?
necessarily.
Oh well yeah, no, I mean like but I'm guessing do we not need them to get back? I mean I don't
We
know.
just need to go into the mist.
Okay, well you can do that and I will watch from not the mist and I will wait for the Vishani. But either way, we can't do shit until the doctor feels better.
Right.
Yeah.
So why don't we check on the doctor?
Yeah, let's do that.
Get a prognosis.
Yeah, you return to the herbalist shop. As you enter, Beatrice looks up, says, "Oh, it's been quite the morning here. Took food up to Dr. Van Richten, but he didn't seem to be in an eating mood. He's just sort of sobbing."
Yeah. That tracks for everything.
Yeah.
Probably fine.
Yeah.
What did you find out at the church?
A lot. We have really good leads, and honestly, I think that we might have an idea or 2 or 3 really on how we can wrap all this up. So you don't really need to worry about it. But I think we do want to take another look at the doctor.
Absolutely, yeah. You go right upstairs. You know you saved him. He's in your debt. I'm in your debt.
Yeah, and once again, Beatrice, thank you so much for hosting us here and giving us a place to stay because otherwise we'd be on the street. regardless of whatever Artie just said, which ended with, you don't have to worry about it in a very cryptic way.
No, I mean, your business is your business. I just, you all are new around here, so if there's anything I can do to help, just ask. I mean, I know, I know people in town. I'm sorry I didn't have all the answers on Brother Francis, but I might be able to help with something else if you can think of anything.
Could you get us a horse and buggy?
I can see about that. I can send a runner out.
That'd be great.
Sure. Yeah. You all go upstairs into Van Richten's room. He is like curled up on the bed, like sitting by the headboard. You can see there's like a tray that's been brought over with food on it, like off the side of the bed, but he hasn't touched any of it. And he's just sort of hunched on the bed. He's like banging his head against the headboard as he's crying.
Pillows? Anybody got
Yep.
pillows? Let's grab some pillows and or a blanket or something. Put on this headboard.
Elina starts the process of casting lesser restoration. Trying to see if that will do the trick.
Bowmin, you summon, the little doggy, Hayes,
Yes.
right? And Nyx can like ride Hayes, right?
Technically, anybody could ride Hades,
Oh, fantastic.
but Nyx is just has the shortest legs.
Right. 'Cause he's a big dog. I remember what he looks like. I see him all the time. Okay. I've been kicking around, we need transportation. If we figure out the horses, that'll be fine. I just have a question tonight. Once we settle down.
Okay.
Uh,
You know where I'll be.
with that, the restoration finishes casting. And Van Richten's eyes, the haze in them slightly fades, and he's able to focus a little bit as he looks up at Elina. That's Elina, yes? She nods, and you all, who are all of you?
We are in tandem.
Ugh. I thought we agreed that we're leaving that in the
We
other
are
realm.
friends of Elina now, and
Acquaintances.
we
are.
came with her to help try to get you out of the Ainsley's house. Do you remember anything?
Yes, I appreciate the assistance. I fear I don't have much time. I think this was a temporary reprieve. He grabs the tray and brings it over. He starts like hurriedly devouring food while he still can.
Sure.
He swallows. I am thinking clearly again, but the madness is intruding back on my thoughts. You must put spirits to rest to fully break this curse.
And to do that, we need to bring the body to the ghost.
Well,
Is it a curse?
Not
I
necessarily.
mean,
I don't know everything about it. I found the notes, got attacked by suicide
Things.
notes, and I got attacked by the creatures, and I would assume the unfinished business has something to do with the ghost in the house not being able to be with the ghost of his beloved.
Okay.
If you can find a way to reunite their ghosts, I would assume that would finish the business and would put both of them to rest. These are not the only. The Ainsley house is not the only disturbed haunt right now in Mordant. There has been word of a violent headless rider prowling the roads outside of town at night, and the Ainsleys themselves have holed up in their country estate. I talk. I'm not going to be able to get all the particulars out before
It's
this.
okay. Basics.
Talk to the Weathermay Foxgroves. Alice Weathermay is the mayor. Her daughters, they're good young ladies. They are, they've learned a lot. They have heard rumors about things happening with the Ainsleys. Talk to the Weathermay Foxgrove twins. They can give you more details on that. I don't know much on it, but they have been, the Ainsleys have been more reclusive than usual. It's hard to focus. The crying is getting louder in my head. But if you can stop whatever is keeping the ghost in that house. If you can dispel whatever magic is keeping that ghost trapped in the house, and if you can find a way to finish finish his business. I assume something to do with reuniting him and his love. You should break this fog on me. You're strangers. I shouldn't expect help, but I will do whatever I possibly can to repay you if you are able to solve this for me. I would normally like to solve this myself, but things haven't quite worked out that way.
Don't worry about it.
Yep,
got
we're
it.
doing it.
In your last few seconds that you have with us,
Artemis.
we'll see you again. Don't worry. We can break you out of this again. Last name, Brightshield. Ring any bells? Brightshield. Any bells?
Not off the top of my head.
Cool. Forget about it.
Okay.
Here, wrap this around your head, and I give him a pillow and
Thank you.
You do what?
like this.
He was banging his head on the headboard.
Oh,
So
I was picturing like here
Suffocates him.
night now.
Best of luck.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah. Sorry, we can't help you right now. Oh, he's gone.
I'm
Can
just
we,
gonna like rig pillows around the headboard and
Yeah.
like tie it
And
there.
blend it.
So like
I have experience with this here.
Gross.
okay.
What the fuck is wrong with you? This man is insane. And you're boasting about sex prowess? What the fuck?
Who said anything about
It was implied by everything about you. I swear to God. Let's go find this goddamn mayor. I'm gonna throw up.
Okay.
Great.
So we reunite the ghosts. There's a headless horseman who would trample one on
Or
a horse.
horsewoman.
Or horsewoman.
Or
Horse.
horse person.
A headless rider, yes, a headless rider.
Riders can trample is the main takeaway.
Mhm.
And
Riders can also be trampled.
Mr. Bowmin, as you told us,
Yeah.
the people that you were talking to that none of us were there for, their daughter was trampled, right? Or
Yes.
run down.
It sounds like we should talk to the mayor.
Yeah.
Great. Is that where you all are gonna head to next?
Yeah.
Okay. You get directions, I assume, first, but then
Nah.
just
Parse it
wander
Probably
around.
like halfway through.
You make your way, sort of at the top of a cliff overlooking, the entire town of Mordenshire, is a large manor house. This is called Heather House, you have learned. This is, like I said, it's a large manor. It's a sort of a stone building with stone house with sharp gables, covered in ivy. There are nice gardens outside the house, a fence outside. You can see there's, there are some staff like tending to some stables nearby as you approach the gates. As you do, like one of the stable workers like runs over, looking up at the sky, like trying his best to cover his head with like his jacket as he sort of runs out into the drizzling rain and comes up to the gate and says, "Hello there. What can I help you all with?"
We need to see the mayor.
Do you have an appointment?
Well, no, we need to see the mayor's daughters.
Oh, do you have an appointment with? You know what? I'll let the butler handle this. Yeah, come on in.
This is above my pay grade.
Why did you even ask us that?
He doesn't even work there.
I don't know. I just, usually when people come here, they've got an appointment. I don't actually know what I'm supposed to do if you don't have an appointment. I'm just gonna let the butler handle it.
Yeah, let him handle it, please, or them.
He opens the gates for you, and leads you up under the roof of the porch. Knocks on the door with the knocker. As you sort of pass into the estate, as you're sort of walking up to the front door, you look around. These are decently large grounds. Like I said, you can see decently large gardens. You can see, like I said, nice stables. You get an angle on, like, at the very edge of the estate, a sort of a private burial ground. So, quite an impressive cliffside estate overlooking Mordenshire. But as you approach the door, he knocks on the door for you. After a little bit of time passes, the door opens and a sort of a middle-aged gentleman in relatively nice clothes, bald head, sort of opens the door and says, "Yes, how can I help all you?"
Hello. So sorry to drop in unannounced. I'm Lord Brightshield. I don't have an appointment, but we are interested in a bit of business with the mayor, looking to do some good about the city. We have an idea in mind. Might we seek an audience?
I will inquire if the mayor's available. Right this way. Come inside.
Thank you.
As you enter the entry foyer, you can see inside. There's some busts. There's paintings. There's some mounted like swords and axes and other weapons as well in here. Sort of on plaques and stuff. You see, sort of a grand staircase sort of goes up, goes in, and then goes up again to a higher level. But you also see ingeniously these like lifts, these lift mechanisms by the staircase as well that would allow somebody who couldn't climb the stairs to reach the upper levels of the house. But you are led off into a side room, which is this, decently large sitting room. Nice furniture. There's sort of fire going in the fireplace, oil lanterns, lamps, burning in here. The butler leaves momentarily and returns with tea and biscuits as well, and then says, please enjoy the tea. I will see if the lady of the house is available to speak with you. And he departs.
Can we just talk about how Lord Artemis Brightshield just rolls up the tongue like sandpaper?
You're just not used.
Sandpaper doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's funny, Bowmin.
I've been working on my humor.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, Rose and I were workshopping before we
Of course
left.
you were workshopping with Rose, because Rose is so funny.
She's
I'm not having a
quite
good
funny.
day, guys.
You could talk to us if you're having issues.
I'd rather die. But thanks for the suggestion. I appreciate
Well,
it.
then you'd come back as a ghost and have to talk to us. So
No, I wouldn't. I'd just haunt you.
I would find a way.
Oh, God, I hate that so much.
Don't worry, we would bring you back
Oh, my God.
That's true.
again and again and again and again.
That's like actually torture. What if someone...
Yeah,
no,
all of
whatever.
you, as long as I'm
If
around.
your spirit, I will say, according to the text of the spell, if your spirit doesn't want to return, the Revivify and other such spells cannot force your spirit
Okay.
to return.
Yeah, remember that
So
dwarf?
if you
the
want to
Jinarra?
stay, if
300
you
gold?
want to stay dead, you can just stay dead.
Okay. Good to know.
Anyway,
So we're wanting to talk with the daughters because they knew
No rumor. They know the hot goss about Morden.
the gossip, and because I was very much listening. The daughter's name who was killed was
Brooke.
Brooke. Got it. I'm sorry.
after a few minutes of waiting, the mayor, Miss Alice Weathermay, enters the room. She's a middle-aged woman. Dark hair, little bit of gray sneaking in a couple places. But she looks pretty good, all things considered, and is dressed, quite nicely in sort of very professional attire as she sort of sits down in a chair and pours herself some tea and says,
She's casual.
hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all. And you are the Lord Brightshield, yes?
That I am. Thank you so much for taking the time to see us. I know it might be a bit of a mess with your schedule.
No, that's okay. This is the business of the mayor, is speaking to people. She turns to the butler who accompanied her back into the room and says, thank you, Martin, that will be all. And says, Mom, and he leaves.
Mom?
Ma'am.
Oh,
Nah, they're
I was
related.
like, holy shit, that's rough.
It's so hard to get good help these days.
I know, you gotta hire your own son.
Now, what can I do to help you?
You see, we find ourselves, we're new in town. We're a traveling group, and we try to do a little bit of good everywhere we go. We're from quite a distance, quite a ways away. But upon entering your fine town, we did, stumble into questions that we have, and we were told that you, and some of your family might have some answers that could prove beneficial to us. Specifically, we heard that you had 2 daughters that might know a little bit more about town and some of the... Well, we're looking to make make things just better everywhere we go, you see, and
Sorry to
people that
interrupt,
know
but
things. Oh yes, of course.
this is. Do you know anything about a woman named Brooke that died about 5 years ago?
The name unfortunately doesn't ring a bell. Do you know any more details that you could?
She was
at the Ainsley estate.
The one in the country or the one in the village?
The village.
So she must have been one of the people who lived in town and went over to the estate to do work there on a schedule. Do you know anything else about like the circumstances of her death? I apologize. I mean, this is 5 years ago and clearly not someone I knew all that well. And
She was trampled by, I believe, a horse and cart.
oh goodness. The baker's girl. Yes,
That sounds familiar.
that does ring a little bit of a bell now.
Brooke Baker.
Yes, tragic name, but I confess that I don't know all that much about her death.
Of course. Well, we did also hear that there were others that potentially live here that might know a little more about town, perhaps hold positions in town, or just are equally as connected, or perhaps connected in other circles. We perhaps heard mention of daughters. Was that it?
Yeah, have they been working with Van Richten?
Ah, you're here to see Jennifer and Laurie. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, my daughters are they like to think themselves quite the adventurers, and honestly they have earned it. My dim-witted brother, after spending some time out of town, returned with a new fiance who is a werewolf. And if it weren't for the intervention of my daughters, things would have worked out poorly, let's say.
Sure.
He's still with the fiance?
No, the fiance's dead.
Murdered?
Let's not go making a sensation of. I'm gonna like shoot like a look to Penny.
It's okay.
I don't know. I
You're-
didn't know we drew the line at werewolf. That's good to know. I'm good to know. Okay.
It wasn't just it wasn't a werewolf that was like, oh, you know, I have this condition and it's bad. Like this was a like
I'm not judging. I'm not the
was
mayor.
She was trying to harm my family.
That's
and
fine.
if it weren't for my daughter's intervention, we all very well may be dead.
Well, you must be very proud then.
Yes, very much so. I don't love how dangerous what they do is, but I am proud nonetheless. So, in reality, then you came here to see them and not me.
I suppose once it gets down to it,
We do
But-
just want to make you, as the mayor, aware that we are investigating what happened at the Ainsleys.
Yes. Hold on. Yes, the Ainsleys. Okay, what is happening there then, if you've been investigating this alongside Dr. Van Richten? So, he didn't come with you, he would normally.
He's preoccupied. There's a bit of a violent haunting going on. We're trying to help soothe.
Unfortunately, all too common these days. Well, these days, I say, in Mordant. But yes, obviously very grateful for your assistance in trying to solve this matter. Well, I can fetch my daughters, I suppose. You may have to wait a little bit, if that's okay.
I'd be all right with that.
Yep.
Sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And if there's anything you would like to ask me while we're waiting, I mean, that I will help however I can. Just give me one moment. She steps out of the hall and says, Martin? And Martin comes around. It's like,
Son?
yes, Mom.
But Mama!
Oh no!
Could you fetch my daughters for me? Yes, Mom. And he leaves.
You imagine your mom being like, "Can you fetch my daughter for me?"
Yeah.
And she returns. So yes, we've got a few minutes. If you have any questions, I will attempt to assist as best as I can to help you and the good Dr. Van Richten.
Just a general question about the lay of the land. How far does
Actually, let me rephrase that. Okay. Retracting that. Didn't have a full question there.
What is wrong with the current citizens of this town? It seems like everyone has a lot of woes.
Why do you suck at your job as mayor?
Yeah, why does it suck here? What do hands do?
Unfortunately, life in Mordant is quite hard. I mean, it's cold, it's dreary, the dead never rest.
I imagine that is inconvenient.
Yes, to say the least. All things considered, aside from, the Ainsley Manor haunting and the headless rider on the road outside of town. I don't know if you've heard of that, but I would avoid traveling on roads outside of town at night. Aside from that, things are not actually, frankly, better than usual.
Oh, well, good.
The
How long have you been mayor?
oh goodness, 10 or so years.
Is that a normal term?
Well, I've been reelected a couple of times.
Wow. That's a long time to be mayor. Good for
Yes,
you.
it is a long time to be mayor, but someone has to do it, and not too many people are all that interested in making sure that the broader services of the government continue to run well. So,
Ben, while we've been in town, have we noticed any specific race that's been more present than others?
overwhelmingly human population. I mean, there's a handful of people of other species. You've seen walking around, you've seen the occasional halfling or elf or orc or whatever, but it's predominantly, it's a largely human population.
You've been here for what, 15 years, you said, as mayor? 10 years?
10 years as mayor. I've lived here my whole life.
Quick question for you. Have you seen an Aarakocra? Sparrow?
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that group of people.
Okay. Well,
I'm sorry.
nope, no need to apologize. Just asking.
Gonna follow up on that later.
Mhm.
10 years. That means you were around when the Ainsley still lived or visited there.
Yes,
in town.
most of the country aristocrats keep a manor house in town, and
Of course.
the Ainsleys would occasionally come to town. I confess that I never much cared for them. They were a little too. Look, we residents of the realm of Mordant, many of us care deeply for tradition. They were a little obsessive about it. I don't know, there was just that certain group of aristocrats that were so fiercely loyal to tradition that it blinded them to pretty much anything and everything else.
What kind of tradition, if you don't mind my asking?
No, I mean, you name it, right? Everything had to be a certain way. You know, every party had to be run in the perfect certain manner with a certain type of music because that was traditional. Their estate had to be run a certain type of way because that was traditional. Their decorations had to be a certain type of way because that was traditional. They had to dress a certain type of way because that was traditional.
Their children had to marry certain types
Their
of people
children
because that was
had to marry certain types of people. I believe that they have not yet found luck with either of their children on a partner yet. I know that they have been calling in, suitors to meet with their daughter. Their son, I believe, was
Sorry, I
sent
just
away.
thought of a scheme.
That's how we get in.
Their
That's how we
son,
get in, baby.
Their son was sent away.
Artemis Brightshield, send him in.
It's not the worst idea y'all have ever had.
That's generous.
Their son, I believe, was sent away for schooling, but
yeah, I heard he went far, far away.
Well, not that far. He both went far and not far at the same time.
all right. Never mind. I should know not to ask too many questions of acquaintances of Dr. Van Richten.
We'll fill you in. We just gotta finish our investigation.
Very well. At around this time, the butler, Martin, returns with the Weathermay Foxgrove twins. These are two young ladies.
I have a
What?
question.
Yeah.
Is the Heather house octagonal?
No, it's
Ah,
I'm sorry. It is not octagonal. The Weathermay Foxgrove twins are brought in. These are two young ladies. They look like probably they're in their 20s, early 20s, if you had to guess. Both. Yeah, I mean, you can tell they're twins, right? They both look extremely similar to each other. They
Can I
are
roll
both-
a perception check to see if I recognize them as twins? Just kidding.
You would recognize them as twins. They've got dark hair like their mother. They're both dressed in like fairly practical clothing. They both have little beauty marks on their face. And actually, the main way you can tell the difference is they have it on opposite sides of their face.
Mhm.
So one of them has a beauty mark on this side, and one of them has a beauty mark on this side.
That's
Mighty convenient.
But other than that, they look very, very similar. They're wearing similar clothes. Again, very practical clothing. Sort of, pants and nice jacket, cravats, that sort of thing. They sit down and across from you all and say, well, hello there. My name is Jennifer. I'm the brains of our operation. And her sister sort of flicks her the back of the head and says, oh, sure, the brains of the operation. I'm Lori. And I'm the one who actually gets things done around here. What can we do for you?
Fantastic.
Took you a second.
A lot of twin politics to unpack there.
You were sent by
Van Richten.
Dr. Van Richten, yes?
Yes.
How is the old man? He's been gone for, he was out of town for a couple years there.
Oh, he's a bit of a headache right now.
He's seen better days.
Recovering from his travels, but we're helping him out. And I heard that the two of you are also a bit of a, well, not quite authority, perhaps that's not the right word, but have a bit of a curiosity about you and might know a few things. We're wondering if we could partner together.
Sure, yeah. We, and they're like trading off answering, and you're having to like go back and forth, but they're like, yes, we know a lot about what goes on in town. We'd like to keep our ear to the ground, as it were. I'm not every word, but but they're doing that like creepy twin thing where they just know exactly what the other one's about to say and like finish each other's sentences and stuff.
In reality, they're just sending message back and forth.
It could be.
We are a bit curious about 5 years ago, a bit of business with the Ainsleys. And specifically, a young woman who worked there. Her name was Brooke. Tragically, met her end, perhaps underneath a horse, trampled. We're wondering if you may have any other information, may be familiar. Any leads that you might be able to provide, or if that sparks anything.
Was that the girl that that Bryant was rumored to be seeing?
You do know your way around this town. That is the exact woman.
Interesting. So I take it those rumors were true. And
I'll neither confirm nor deny.
And I take it you
suspect... I will gladly confirm those. They were true.
And I take it you suspect that her murder was no accident.
Well, wouldn't you?
I would more than strongly suspect.
Interesting. And Van Richten has been looking into this?
Yeah.
Well, what can we do to help? What questions have you about Miss Brooke or about the Ainsleys? I confess we'll probably know more about the Ainsleys than this young lady, but we'll help however we can.
Go. Unless you don't have anything, I can go.
No, I was just umming.
We did hear recently that the Ainsleys were holed up in their country estate. Is there a reason?
Well, the rumors, of course, are one thing. I don't know how true any given rumor is, keep in mind. And the Ainsleys have been And they abandoned their manor house almost 5 years ago to the day now. And they have lived in their manor ever since. And rumor has it that they've had a series of bad luck in their land. Crop failures, food poisoning at parties they've hosted, injuries and accidents around the estate, these sorts of things. And of course, they deny all of these rumors, and they put on a good show, is still doing well, but it's interesting how many fewer parties there have been, and not just because of the unfortunate bits of bad luck that seem to happen to guests of their parties, but, well, let's just say that we suspect they are putting on a good show because they want people to think that they still have more money than they actually still do. And the reason why I think this is they've gotten pretty desperate to pair their daughter Katrina up with anyone with money.
That's very difficult. The young woman, however, I know that people, I will admit, we're not from around here. It seems that in this land, there's a good chance of becoming a bit of a spirit after you pass.
Yes.
Is there any chance that you might know if she is or where her spirit may be now that she's passed?
Well, if her family has not seen her ghost, that's usually the first thing that happens. But if her family has not seen her ghost, then I would suspect that her ghost has become something of a violent haunt. Now, the question, of course, is what is the source of her unfinished business?
Do you have any theories? Since we suspect that she was maybe.
Well, if I were a betting woman, and I am, you say that she was indeed seeing Bryant Ainsley. You say that she was murdered and just died in a tragic accident out on the road. Well, then I say the Ainsleys had her murdered. Am I on the right track so far? In which case, one might deduce that the reason the Ainsleys are having so much bad luck is because of her.
Ooh.
So there's been mention of a headless rider that
Yes, dreadful.
is on the roads at night.
Mm.
Do you happen to know where Brooke died, and if maybe?
I don't know where she died off the top of her head. You think it's connected, though?
I mean, is the road that the headless rider is on connected to the Ainsleys?
It is between
Country.
here and the Ainsley Manor. Headless Rider didn't. If we're suspecting, right, that these deaths happened about 5 years ago, and this is all connected, and the rider didn't start showing up at the same time. could still be connected, but didn't show up at the same time. That was
When did it
later.
start showing?
Around 4 years ago now.
Hmm.
Now, do you know anything about... I doubt the Ainsleys were the ones to personally murder this poor girl. Have you, in your investigation thus far, uncovered any information about who that might have been?
Yeah. Are there any notable, I don't even know if you become notable as a hitman, but
In certain circles,
sure.
certainly.
Do you know those? Are you in those circles?
We are not in those circles, but we know of those.
Yeah, their mom
circles.
is right there.
We've come across the name Victor.
Have we?
We
Oh,
have.
that is interesting.
Oh, great.
Victor was
Our other butler.
an assassin for hire. When many of the corrupt aristocrats of town would use him to take care of unsavory business.
You say was.
Well, here's where it gets interesting. He, as far as I know, has not taken a contract in 4 years.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
Oh. All right. 4 years of riding, rider on the road. 4 years without Victor. 5 years of Ainsley bad luck. 5 years since ghostings.
Have you heard anything about Bryant?
No, and that's actually quite unusual. The
Mm.
family, only thing I know is what the Ainsleys have been telling everyone, which is that they sent him away to school. But I suspect that's not the truth.
Perhaps not.
Well,
Of course, when all this gets resolved, perhaps we can share, as thanks for all your kindness and welcoming us and sharing your information, your expertise, we can share the full story, but I don't want to accidentally slander.
We all, yeah.
fair enough. Now,
We put a pin in it and we'll come back.
well, we look forward to it. That said, is there anything else we can do to help? We're both capable.
Ooh, have you, since you seem to be like founts of knowledge and gossip, there was a monk brother of Ezra that has disappeared in the last 5 years.
Francis.
Yeah, by the name of Francis. Do you know that name? Have you heard anything?
Not particularly. We, be honest, not really church people. Don't really
Sure.
pay the church that much attention.
His name has just also come up in all of this.
Interesting. Well, it sounds like you need to talk to the Ainsleys.
Probably. What about Sisters of Mystery? Who are they? Or a mystery club?
Mystery Society? Oh, it's just
Perhaps.
a bunch of middle-aged women in town who get together and like to talk about mystery novels.
It's a book club.
So they're murder podcast enthusiasts.
I don't know what a podcast is, but yes.
Incredible. I'm so happy they're in this world.
Well, I will say this. You need to go see the Ainsleys. You look like you have some aristocratic backgrounds, but I don't think, look, no offense, but the name Lord Brightshield doesn't ring any bells around here. And the Ainsleys are choosy people. But perhaps we could arrange for an introduction to be made.
That could work.
You say the last name Brightshield doesn't work. Would you be willing to dive into a bit of a curious endeavor?
Possibly.
If I remember correctly, you two have, it's a hyphenated last name,
That is correct.
isn't it?
Yes. Weather May, our mother, and Foxcrow, our departed father.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, this is, now that I know of his passing, please forgive my question,
You
but
want to be a long lost relative. A Foxcrow.
would it work?
It might. You're clever.
I do love a good ruse.
Yes, that could work. We can get you some things to settle the ruse, perhaps. You could try it.
What would the price be for this, to be quite direct?
The price. You're
Well-
helping Dr. Van Richten, a dear, well, he doesn't call anyone friends, but a dear friend. If you're helping Dr. Van Richten, we'll help you. Simple as that.
It seems that we've made the correct acquaintances upon arriving then.
Indeed you have. Welcome to Mordant.
Yeah, it's been quite a welcoming.
Sure. You're not even from Ravenloft, are you?
Quite far.
Well, you're in for an experience, let's say. Well, we'll get some things in order for you. Wait here or go do other business. We know where Van Richten's shop is if you'd rather meet there later. It's up
We
to you.
should see if we have transportation all set and ready.
We can bring some things by for you then, Lord Brightshield, to help sell the illusion that you are, in fact, a Foxcrow.
I would appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Of course. And with that, unless you have anything else you want to say to them, they'll see you out.
How do we, once the doors close?
Yeah.
How do we feel about this?
I'm not thrilled that we're probably going to be your servants, but
Yeah, I feel pretty bad about the whole plan, but here we
We'll
are.
figure something else out.
No, I mean, we're
feel like
definitely
it's
gonna do
the
this
best
plan. It's
bet.
gonna be hilarious either way, but
Mhm.
It's probably our best shot.
yeah.
I mean, okay, let's think about this.
Are you
My
gonna do an
plan B
accent?
was us pretending we're world-renowned ghost hunters, and we heard they had a little bit of bad luck, and we're here to exorcise their house and find the ghosts and kill them. But I think this is a much funnier plan, to have you flirt with this girl while we, your 4 friends and 1 acquaintance, sorry, Elina, we don't know you that well yet, but I'm sure we'll, whatever, watch. I think that'll be fun.
You can certainly be more participatory than that.
No, I've got a
I
bad
don't
week.
want to
I'm gonna watch.
participate in that. I don't even want to watch.
It's not going to.
I'll be out with the car.
Yeah, I
You're
might
going- You're
pregame.
going to be my personal bodyguard,
You have Jinarra.
who is probably also going to be, I'm so sorry to assume this for you, but also aristocratic.
I suppose I could be.
Why couldn't the rest of us be aristocrats?
It's because we look poor. Is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
yeah.
Nyx, turn out your pockets right now. If there's nothing from that house that we just came inside your pockets.
Can I make a sleight of hand check
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
house?
Yeah, you can make a retroactive sleight of hand check. I'll allow it because it's funny.
That is a
I did.
natural 20.
You definitely were able to swipe something. You like grabbed a crystal ashtray. You swiped something.
Artemis,
Feel seen?
Nyx just like walks away.
I did pack nice clothes for everyone and warm clothes and clothes in case it's really hot. I wasn't sure what to expect, so
I didn't know we were bringing our own wardrobe. I just packed what I'm wearing.
Yeah, I didn't pack extra
this is
clothes.
why I have extra clothes. You don't have extra clothes.
As Bowmin reaches
Really?
into the back of his portable hole and pulls out a full liquor bottle.
Great.
He's got other priorities.
Well, I have clothes for you, including nice clothes. So, yes.
I was kind of expecting this whole adventure to be a little bit more dirty and less political.
Yeah.
I was expecting a lot less ghosts.
I was actually expecting a lot more ghosts at this point.
Oh, this is day what, 2?
Yeah.
Mm.
So far, we've only encountered one actual ghost.
Mhm.
A bunch of like weird crying things, but I don't think were they ghosts?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
All in all, Waterdeep had more nasties than this place so far.
Yeah. The twins are like, well, welcome to Morden. And I'm like, girls,
We fought a
please.
dragon.
Do you know what we were like doing 6 months ago?
We should really get back to the.
You
Doctors.
return to the shop. There is a cart waiting for you there. Beatrice was able to procure one for you.
Is this a horse?
Yeah, there's a yes, of course.
What's the horse's name?
Beatrice is like, I didn't ask. Sorry.
And that's fine because that is a total reasonable thing not to ask.
We can find out what its name is.
Did anybody talk to it? Like, how are you planning on doing that, Artemis?
We can just figure this out here. I'm
Is
gonna
that
go.
no handling?
I'm gonna go talk to this horse. Go introduce myself. Maybe find an apple somewhere. Get to know the horse. Just start making various vowel noises at it and see which ones the ears flick more towards and just slowly accumulate a name.
It's gonna be gobbledygook.
Yeah, you get through this process. Make an animal handling check for me.
Ooh.
22.
22. Okay. You get through this process, and you know what? You are pretty sure. You're like 95% sure that its name is Watikata.
Everyone?
What was the name?
You doubted me. You doubted me. I appreciate that.
What?
Artemis, what was the name?
Ooh, Watamaka.
I'm just gonna call it Dave.
That is.
Its
I
ears
tried,
perk
I
up.
tried,
Its
Dave.
ears perk up equally to the name Dave.
Like
I
that.
might not have tried the duh sound.
Wait. Bowmin peeks under.
Maybe not Dave. Not 100% sure what that is, but doesn't look like a.
God, don't shame them. We don't know what kind of life they lived.
Why don't we just call the horse Danny and move on?
Oh, Danny.
Oh,
I feel like that would be okay. Well, all right.
I won't tell Danny if you don't. I mean, the person, not the horse.
I will tell Danny. No, I'm
Uwa.
just kidding. I don't talk to Danny.
The horse's name is Uwatamaka.
We have a horse.
Yes. Are we gonna stay the night here or set out first thing in the morning?
I
think-
think we should probably head out now.
Well,
Although-
there's that.
Twins.
They warned us not to be on the roads at night.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of want to see the headless rider, right?
I don't
mean,
necessarily.
We also don't want to show up all like bloody to
Right.
Ainsley's.
Well, we haven't changed our clothes apparently.
Yeah, but we don't have a
Are we
change
also
of
not
body.
waiting? Are we also not waiting for the twins? Aren't they bringing us stuff? And
Oh
Yeah.
shit! That's
Yeah,
totally
we do
right.
have
Yeah.
to wait for
Yeah.
the twins. That's
okay.
God, you are.
Glad we
here.
were all in that room.
Well, with that, you all go back inside, I guess, to wait for the twins to arrive.
Yeah.
And that seems like as good a place as any to call it for the night. So, thank you all for playing. Real chaotic energy this episode. Love that. Always love the chaotic energy episodes. So thank you. And thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time. Have a good night, everyone.